Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of the Primalo Wrestling Show. It is not Tuesday; it's Monday. We got a little scheduling conflict, so we agreed all of us to do it on Monday. So I know everybody has a case of the Mondays. Hopefully, we make it just a little bit better because again, we are the Primalo Wrestling Show. Primalo crew: Rich Lopez, Homeboy Malloy, Steve making us look and sound good. Robert Price is always with us. Homeboy, I got to see you again 2 weekends in a row.
Yeah,
Man, we going back to normal life, baby. But
hey, it's getting there. It's
it
close.
actually, yeah, technically, you might be right with these a couple states going full blown into it. But how you doing, man?
I'm good, man. Chilling. Thankful for you guys. So cheers to you guys for being able to work around my schedule this week.
Salud.
Cheers.
Yeah, we'll do the cheers. What you sipping on?
Little Nugget Nectar by
Mm,
Trogs Brewing Company. It's good stuff.
okay.
It's actually what I was drinking over your casa over the weekend.
Oh yeah,
Uh,
you did. Yeah, I saw that. And you had a little bit of Millar too, right?
oh yeah, Miller Lite, dude. It's crazy. Like I haven't had a Miller Lite probably a year.
Yeah.
I actually just drink like Labatt's or something like super light with like no salt. You really taste the salt in Miller Lite. I kind of missed it. I was like, huh, I
It's good for
missed
the soul, baby. Salt is always good for the soul. That's
it.
what I
Yeah.
always say. But you're Gaines McCabe. I'm not really, fitness Gaines guy. So I'll take salt, take sugar. I'll take seasoned salt for the NEPA people that listen. What is it? Jesus, I'm drawing a blank. What is it? Sweet treat. As I say, sweet tooth, sweet treat. That seasoned salt hits the spot. Put that on eggs, bacon.
Yeah.
It is so good. Steve, you sipping on anything?
It's Margarita Monday.
Oh, there we go, baby. I like that. I'm sipping on a little lemonado, vanilla vodka, and a little bit of Sprite for the carbonation.
I like it. You're like, one day when I open a bar, you're gonna be my mixed drink guy. It's gonna be whatever Lopez makes up.
That's a special.
Yeah.
The Lopez special, baby.
You
But
might a Tuesday, but it was worth it.
yeah, it's all good. It's all good. Thank you guys for tuning in on Monday. Also, so we have a couple watchers, so thank you. Obviously we kind of decided to do this yesterday, so we don't have anything too planned, which sometimes is always good. I know you've been doing a couple WrestleManias, so we're gonna take a break from that this week. Last week we did WrestleMania 23, so if you guys want to watch that, definitely. Real quick, because we didn't pick one last week actually, because where Moran came on and we didn't get to pick one. So you want to pick a WrestleMania for next week so we can do a graphic and watch, review, shit on, compliment on, whatever you want? Or is it my? You did 23 or did I do 23?
It was is I actually picked 23. So it's up to you, man. If you pick.
All right, I'm gonna let you give me at least the era. Do you want to go? I guess technically an older WrestleMania, so one of the first ones, or like the earlier ones, or do you want to go the latter route?
Let's just do the 90s. Pick something in the 90s, and we'll go.
Okay. No, how about this one, bro? This is gonna sound shitty. I know I just kind of shit on your idea, but I'm only saying it because we did WrestleMania 8, 12, and that was 90s. And we've only done what 2000. We do what other ones did we do?
We just did 22. We only did 3.
We only did 3.
I'm sure we've reviewed other WrestleManias in the
No,
past.
we have, but like in this little stretch, what have we done? 8, 12, and
22 or
8,
23.
12, and 23.
Yeah.
8, 12, 23. Oh, okay. So let's do 8, 12, 23. Let's do we'll do an older one. Let's do WrestleMania 4.
Okay. That's
So
cool.
it'd be as close to the 80s as 88. Is that cool?
Yeah, I'm good with that.
All right, cool. We'll do WrestleMania 4. If you guys want to watch that, it's a very, very early installment of WrestleMania. So it's right after the WrestleMania 3 shebang. So it comes back down to, I'll say the excitement comes back down to earth. It's at Trump Plaza. Their selling point for that Mania was the tournament, 14-man tournament. The first ever tournament for the WWE Championship. The main event of that, because of the tournament, was DiBiase Savage. So that's technically the first WrestleMania main event without Hulk Hogan, to quote my Warrior voice. But it's kind of interesting. It's a little long, so I do apologize, but it's something different. Yes, exactly. It's something different, so definitely watch that because if you're used to the big arenas and the pyro and the vignettes for every single match, you don't get that there. So it's kind of a cool old school feeling. Like I said, it's a little long, but if you want to fast forward a match or two, I don't blame you. But other than that, it's kind of cool. I think the all-star of that WrestleMania, and obviously we'll talk about it next week, is Randy Savage because he has 4 matches and he has all good matches for that era. So, speaking of WrestleMania, let's talk about the road to WrestleMania because I'm reading reports, dude, that Vinnie Mac is about to blow up the whole card. I know we don't like to talk about too much recent stuff, but this really isn't like current product stuff, I guess. It's just more of like rumors and stuff, if that makes any sense. But yeah, like I heard he's upset with the card outside of the Reigns Edge match and the Bianca Sasha match because obviously they've been already announced essentially. So there's reports that he's blowing up the whole card. So he might be getting total new directions for people like McIntyre and Miz and Lashley and Orton. I even read. So like, I have to ask you this: is there just like why do you think there's so many changes going on with WWE? Do you think it's like not a mental thing, a creative difference between Vince and the writers, or like Pritchard and the writers, or Triple H and the writers? Like, why do you think there's so many changes? Because we get this a lot. Sometimes there's a youth movement. Then a month later, it's Goldberg and Brock coming back and Taker coming back. Like, why do you think there's so many tug of wars when it comes to the creative stuff?
Personally, for me, I think it's just everything always has to pass with Vince. Yeah. So it's you got one guy pulling all the strings. So if the puppet master isn't happy, he's gonna rip it all up and say, no, I don't like this, do it over again. Yeah. So I think it's just his like perception probably on things. I mean, his age. I mean, he's in his 70s. He's got to be on a lot of testosterone to still be flying at this age.
Yeah.
Doing what he does. But that's just me. That's my thought logic on Vince McMahon. But and he doesn't get the builds like he used to anymore. The best two storylines that are building is Edge and Reigns, is Sasha and Bianca Belair. Nothing else is really building in a Mania. Like your WWE title, that's a cluster. You know what? Really?
Yeah, yeah. I completely agree, and that's your flagship belt.
Literally, yeah.
Like I know Reigns is like your guy, but like he's Universal Champion. Like I understand you want to bring the prestige up to that title, but like your main title, the selling point of your title, is WWE title.
Yeah.
Like that should be the
championship. And you have there's no idea what's going on there.
Yeah. But so like you're saying there's so many lack of builds, but like isn't that also like that'd be also Vince's fault, right? Like to me, that's Vince. Like you could have McIntyre go in with the title. That's a long reign. So whether he keeps it's cool, or if he loses it, it's cool, right? Like that kind of actually makes intrigue for the build if you have a credible contender.
Yeah, I mean,
like to me, that's the thing. Like to me, that's what it would have been like at Elimination Chamber. Which, by the way, the thing that also sucks is like they have another pay-per-view before Mania to kind of eliminate the longer builds, which to me makes no sense. But either way, it's just like if you're going to have Edge pick a winner. Like, why did he immediately pick Reigns? Like, wouldn't you want to wait to see who comes out as champion for Elimination Chamber? And then maybe, like, the next night on Raw? Like, remember when Taker won the Rumble and then the 3 champions were out in the ring? Like, that kind of made, like, a mystique because he did a face-off with each one. You had the crowd cheer, crowd boo, made the build happen. Then he obviously chose, and then you start the builds for that. Like, I feel like there's just so many creative ways that they're dropping the ball on, WWE title being one of them. Thus making, all right, so that's one build that they kind of shit the bed on. Raw Women's title, I think they're in the same boat, honestly. And then there's obviously other ones like Fiend and Orton. I still don't know what's going on with that. I feel like he should have been back by now, right? Or do you think that's at Fastlane?
I think he'll make an appearance at Fastlane. I do actually like the build-up of what they're doing with the Fiend and Orton. It's
the only long one.
It's very drawn out. It's 6 months in the making, more or less.
Mm-hmm.
So that's cool with me. But I mean, at the same point in time, I just feel like that your main title is just a straight up clusterfuck. I mean, that's just
plain
and simple. It's just there's too many people in the same. There's too many people in going after it. It's like you have Miz. Miz is going on a championship match tonight. Then you have McIntyre. Where is he going to go? This guy carried your business through a whole pandemic. He was the best thing, most entertaining thing to having, like, imagine if there was a crowd. I mean, he would have been Cena level, in my opinion.
No, that makes sense.
And then you have Lashley. Rightfully, he should be champion. I think he's fine as champion. But if he won at Mania, that would have made it even better.
Agreed. Or at least like built him up from Elimination Chamber to Mania to make him a credible contender.
Yeah, he
Something
could
like that.
have been there could have been a tournament. I think that's something that's always lacking in wrestling. I mean, what is real wrestling? I get not real wrestling, but like
No, what I mean.
college wrestling, it's all tournament based.
Yeah.
So have a tournament for the title. Who's going to be the champion? Who's going to oppose them? And you could have had a tournament up until that night, and the end of night one at WrestleMania, you could have had Lashley versus whoever, and then to go into the next night for the opening match.
Yeah. That makes sense. I mean, that'd be kind of cool. Something different.
Yeah.
I mean, that goes back to WrestleMania 4. It's kind of cool that you just mentioned that. So maybe that's what they were trying to do at WrestleMania 4. But I mean, even if you wanted to do that, like from Elimination Chamber to Fastlane, that's to make it something you're building certain, like if you have Lashley in the finals against The Miz, right? Like you're building up a potential contenders for post-Mania also. You know what I mean? Like I just feel like the long-term thinking is lacking anymore. And it's because, to me, there's so much content now. And we kind of talked about that, like even when Moran on the show last week, like there's so much content that you don't need to make builds anymore. Thus, it hurts the story, which a lot of people, like for me, I watch WWE because of the story and the athletics.
Yes.
You know what I mean? I feel like other promotions don't do that as much. Granted, in Japan, they're known more for a sport, not really much more for the entertainment and the sport. They're just known for a sport, so that kind of makes sense, right? Like WWE, it's sport and entertainment, sports entertainment. So like, I feel like there's just so much content that they can just do whatever they want. Like, oh, all right, we're gonna do something on Monday, and then we have a thrown together pay-per-view in 2 Sundays from now. Like it's I don't know, it's just really really crazy to me, honestly. But I was speaking of network, I forgot to tell you because you asked me about watching the Goldberg 24. I don't know if it's on the free version, but I forgot I canceled my subscription.
Oh damn! Why'd you
know
can't?
why? Because Peacock comes out in 10 days.
Nice. That's cool.
Yeah, only because like my monthly subscription renewed on the 7th.
Yeah.
So like shit. I was like,
mine like last week because I remember just seeing I was going through my bank statements this morning.
yeah. So I was like, shit, let me cancel now because there's still some free stuff on the network for now, so I can hold myself over. So I was like, I'll watch all the free shit until the 18th because the 18th it goes on to Peacock, and I'm already subscribed because I have Xfinity cable through Peacock, so I'm ready for the Peacock version. I want to make sure I'm all set up.
Yeah, I wonder how that will be. I hope it's the same, honestly, because I really like the network and I think it's easy to navigate.
It is, yeah.
Honestly, the first version of the network was way easier to navigate.
I agree. Yeah, it actually is crazy, right? Because I used to get. I remember when they made that change. I was like, "What the hell is going on?"
I remember
But
I was over my old apartment. I was pissed. I'm like, I can't even search a wrestling show.
Yeah. No, you're right. I'll actually like. I've been on Peacock before. Like I said, I'm Xfinity, so like I'm actually kind of happy. I got Parks and Rec, dude. I got The Office. I got WWE Network, dude. I'm living large, man. I'm happy.
There you go, all in one network. I mean, I think it's cool for WWE too to be like incorporated with NBC. I mean,
they've been like that forever with Dick Ebersol, the Saturday Night's Main Event. So XFL used to be on NBC, the original XFL.
Yeah.
When it had 4 good weeks,
And they tried again, and then they're going to try again. I guess I wonder if the Rock's going to get that on on NBC.
What's Young Rock on? NBC, right? There you go.
And there's a Vince McMahon character. So do you think even with that, like the Rock or his production company has to pay WWE like licensing and trademark fees for or how to okay these stories with McMahon or something before he tells them because they're supposed to be true?
No, that's true. That's a good question because it's like I don't know because it's for creative effect and he's telling his own version. But at the same time, like WWE owns the likeness and some of the properties of those people.
Yeah,
I would assume so, unless like their licenses of those like ran out. I could be wrong, but
for some of them, I think not all of them. Like for Andre the Giant, they have that. For Macho Man, they have that because you look at the wrestling store, like right on WWE.com.
Yeah.
Then they don't have Iron Sheik merchandise. Iron Sheik, you can get his merchandise through ProWrestlingTees.com.
Yeah.
Soul and Rocky Johnson you can't get his stuff anywhere.
Oh no, I think the Rock's. Yeah, I think the Rock made that shirt or something. Yeah, I don't know. That's a good question. Young Rock's a good show, man. I must give you some credit. Must give you some credit. So let's talk about the competitor of WWE, AEW. I'm not one to shit on products. I don't want to be that nerd that just sits and, oh, I would have done this, this, this. Like I like how we like to review pay-per-views and all that kind of stuff, and we give our version. But like we don't like for example, WrestleMania 23. Like, I mean that was a good pay-per-view actually. So let's go a different route. Let's just say for WrestleMania 9. Oh, we did WrestleMania 10, did we not?
We did.
That's the other one. I was like, I know we did 4. WrestleMania 10 was the other one. So like if we did WrestleMania 9, yeah, it was a shitty pay-per-view. But I'm not gonna sit here and spend 45 minutes just shitting on that pay-per-view. You know what I mean? Like I want to be like, oh, that was a good match or a low-key match. I would have did this maybe a little different, but it was all right. You know, like it happened and stuff like that. But so I say all that to say I don't want to crap on a product. AEW, I didn't watch the pay-per-view because I ain't spending that money. I know you and I are supposed to get together and chip in, but basketball tryouts had your boy exhausted. You know, trying to watch all the kids play. But yeah, so I heard the pay-per-view was pretty good until the ending. I did see the ending. Dude, that's honestly like WCW to me, like in a nutshell. And the thing that's so hurtful about that is that to me is AEW was gaining momentum. You know, they just signed Big Show for, I guess, performer, commentator, creative role. Obviously, they were teasing the new signee, which ended up being Christian, which is kind of cool. But then that ending, dude, with that botch, or they're trying to save face and they're trying to save the direction of it and say it wasn't a botch. It was I don't know. Like, what were your thoughts on that? If you guys didn't see it, just go on AEW Revolution 2021 botch ending. I'm sure you guys will see it and you'll be like, what the heck was it? So real quick, Molly, before you give your thoughts, it was a death match. It was a death match between Moxley and Omega. I'm sure all wrestling fans have saw it, but in case you have any casuals watching the show, it's a death match. You had barbed wire, explosives, weapons, yada yada yada. The ending, there was a countdown. Moxley was in the ring by himself. Eddie Kingston came out to try to save him. Countdown obviously went from like 10 to 0. At 0, everybody was expecting this big dynamite like boom. And you had, so think of Kane's entrance, but take off Kane's entrance. It was literally like it was like sparklers in the corner.
It was Gilbert's entrance.
It was Gilbert's sparklers acting like Kane's entrance with the 4 posts, and then smoke came out of nowhere. So think of like the Undertaker's entrance, Kane's entrance, but the pyro was actually Gilbert sparklers. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, one, I'm on their website right now, and they have the Kenny Omega versus John Moxley Exploding Barbed Wire Deathmatch T-shirt for $25. That should be $1.
Yeah, I mean, after the and the thing that sucks about that too is you had 2 performers like busting their ass, right? So you don't know if it was an actual mishap,
fire, bleeding, all this crazy shit, and then it goes poof.
Yeah,
literally the best meme to me about this whole thing is like what you say to this girl online, and it's like this big thing blowing up, and it's like when you get there.
It's true. I mean, it's crazy like how big of a letdown that was to people. Do you think this hurts them going forward? Because this is like this is their first big pay-per-view of the year of 2021. It's WrestleMania season, so there's a lot of like casual wrestling fans getting back into the norm. I always say to like for like 3 months, like that February to like April, May. So you might want to see the competition to compare. So like I feel like they missed the mark on this. Because let's face it, it's the last thing you see, right? The very last thing you see of AEW Revolution is the botch. So like, do you think? I know I just talked about like a lot of content coming up. So do you think people get past this like quick because of the content that comes out, or do you think this lasts, for the rest of the year? Give me your thoughts.
I personally think it'll be gone quickly. I mean, at least it wasn't like a WCW pay-per-view where it, stopped midstream, and you can see.
I got you. Yeah.
I mean, unfortunately, shit happens, right?
Yeah.
And it's funny, entertaining to older folks. Kids who were probably 16 to 18 were pissed. Parents were probably like, "What the hell did I just pay for?"
Yeah.
And
for the legal buyers.
Yeah. Exactly. But I mean, they really hyped up this match. That's the only thing that like kind of like made me chuckle a little bit. I was like, well, maybe if they didn't hype it up so much, no one really would have cared. But they were like had diagrams of the match and everything else. So I guess in retrospect, it is what it is. But I think they can come back. They have a great roster.
They do.
Their product is good. I mean, it's comparable to WWE. It's better than anything TNA ever was. I think they have the right minds there, and stuff happens. I mean, how many stupid things have we seen in WWE over the years? I mean, they had the gobbledygoober.
I was just getting ready to say they just had Bray Wyatt just literally set on fire, and you could tell it was a dummy, right? Like that's
Yeah.
what I mean. So like the only thing I will say though is I think they actually could have got away with this because like Omega, I did see a couple of the promos like where he's doing the diagram and like crayons and shit like that. So you could say like, oh hey, like there's a miscommunication with production or something like that because he's a heel. You can get away with all that stupid stuff, right?
Yeah.
But the thing that kind of killed it for me was like Eddie Kingston, who he's doing what he was told, right? Like go out there, save Moxley, and then die when the explosion hits. So like if he didn't play dead, you could be like, oh crap, like Moxley, this whole thing was a little joke, right? Because he's a heel, gets away with it, right? But the fact that like Eddie Kingston plays dead after the sparklers, it's like, man, like he was told to play dead, or he didn't look up to see like how crappy the explosion was. Thus, like it ruined him. I mean, obviously you can get away with it, like you said. Like this, I think this is just a tiny little hiccup. But this also could be a wake up call because I always say the one thing that separates WWE from an Impact or a Ring of Honor or an AEW, because obviously they're still starting out, is their production. To me, yeah. I think every company is going to have a questionable storylines or cheesy storylines because you got to do a little bit of everything to appeal to everybody, right? You got to have the serious wrestling rivalry. You got to have the marketable wrestling rivalry. You got to have the cartoonish one for the younger kids. So I think every promotion is going to have that. But I think the thing that always keeps me keen to WWE, especially being like a mass comm major, well, old mass comm major, is like I like the production aspect. You know what I mean? Like that's what separates that like them from everybody else. Obviously, I could watch wrestling at a pure wrestling match from any promotion, Ring of Honor, Impact, AEW. Obviously everybody has great talent. But to me, like I want to see that production aspect. I want to see the camera angles and the audio. How does that sound? Like I feel like they're still missing the mark a little bit. But again, AEW is still starting out, so we'll see what happens. But I do think this blows over. Let's talk about Christian though. Where do you think he fits in?
With Christian, I think it could be a great storyline, dude. He could, I think he could have some good matches with Cody. With
first person I thought about was Cody.
Yeah, I think Cody's the best wrestler on their card.
I agree. I think Omega is honestly still a little bit, but I think Cody's the one that could work with everybody.
Yeah, I think Cody could work with him. Omega. I think Christian's just going to try to make one last run of it of people he didn't wrestle or people he could have better matches with. I'm honestly shocked he didn't stay in WWE.
I saw Dolph. I don't know if he was interviewed or he went on Twitter, but he had a really good quote. It's like WWE didn't view him as an Edge, so whenever he would make his return, he would always be tied to Edge.
Yeah.
So like I'm assuming obviously he wanted to make one last run because if you notice, Big Show, Sting, part of me thought it was gonna be Kurt Angle because Kurt Angle on Instagram posted something about like he put on his singlet and his medal, so a lot of people thought he was making a comeback to AEW. So I think that the reason why all these people are going to AEW is because, yes, it's a part-time schedule for them, but think about their very last match in WWE. Like, so think about it. I try to put my mind. Obviously, I can't do it verbatim or like step by step, but I try to put my mind in Christian's mind, right? So you get cleared to wrestle. You never really had a good final match, or at least like a well-announced final match. So you probably would go to WWE, say, "Hey, all right, can I do the Rumble?" Yes, that'll be our tester. Let's see how you move in the ring, see all that. All right, you did pretty well. Can I get a little run here or like one last match? No, we're focused on Edge. Okay, well I'm going to another company then because they're offering me money. Schedule's light. I get to do what I want to do. Same thing with Big Show, right? Like, all right, I'm done jobbing to Braun Strowman. Let me do something. No, we're good. We need you backstage. All right, well let me do something at another promotion where they give me more money and a lighter schedule. Sting, he pitched everything possible, right?
Yeah.
Like all that, and I'm honestly surprised Angle wasn't the guy. I thought it was going to be Angle because, let's face it, his last match was at WrestleMania 35. He obviously said that he kind of wanted it to be Cena. They said no. They gave him Corbin. As much as he hated it, he understood because it was him putting over, a future talent. But like, think of that. Like, you busted your ass, you broke your neck, you've had like 6 or 7 surgeries in the business. You ask for one thing for your final match, you don't get it. Of course, I'd go to another company, right? Like,
yeah. And then with Christian too, I just feel like he had a really good run in TNA. I mean, I used to watch TNA a lot when I was in high school when he went over there.
yeah,
And like I watched it because Christian was there. He had a thing with Tomko. He had great matches with Samoa Joe. Great match with AJ Styles, Christopher Daniels. And then you look at AEW, all those guys are there. Well, not Styles, not Samoa Joe, but Christopher Daniels, Chris Jericho, one of his probably best friends in the business. So it's like, why not?
Even think about Jericho. Yeah, he didn't like his last run either. He got shafted with the Goldberg Brock. Like, he was supposed to be in the Universal title match. They give Kevin the U.S. title, and they give Brock and Goldberg the Universal title match. So like, it's all these people that are like, oh, they're getting all these old timers or these hard workers. This is me sticking up for AEW. It's like they're getting people that aren't satisfied with their last run, so they're coming in motivated to try to make one last push. You know what I mean? It's I'm sure, like, well, Khan's obviously made of money. He's made of that moolah. But, like, I'm sure it's not as much money as what WCW used to be throwing out.
And then, but at the same point in time, everyone, like, talks about age and stuff. These guys are all the same age as Flair.
That's
like,
true.
When Flair was doing runs, his final, like, 2002 run, his 2004 run. So it's like, and honestly, they're all in better shape than Flair. They're better athletes than Ric Flair.
Maybe not Sting, but everybody else, yeah.
Yeah. Well, Sting's in his 60s.
Yeah. He's the Undertaker of that company.
Yeah, and he's the Undertaker of TNA. And
well, true. Yeah.
I mean, he'll just keep going and going. And I mean, Sting also too was a very, he was always in very good shape. And I think, with the future of medicine, stem cell research, everything else, I mean, there's a lot of things you could do, which I think is super cool. So, give Christian one last run. Give him a run against Cody. Give him a run against John Moxley. All these guys, and the same for Kurt Angle. Like Kurt Angle and Cody had great matches on the independent scene. There used to be it was called like Northeast Wrestling.
Yeah, that cage match.
They had a really good cage match. I actually watched that on YouTube. It was a great match. And that's Cody Rhodes versus Kurt Angle, like Olympic gold medalist, and then Cody Rhodes is son of Dusty Rhodes. So
it's actually crazy. I just watched WrestleMania 32 and he came out as Stardust. I was like, damn, I would not expect Cody to do what he's doing right now. So it's kind of cool to see.
Yeah, to come full circle. I mean, like, he seemed to be tight with Big Show for years.
Yeah, I mean, they had a WrestleMania match at 28, a little rivalry after that. So, yeah, I mean, it makes sense to me, honestly. Like, especially when you're hiring these people too, that I mean, this is with me, I don't think, at least, because they're a little bit out of their prime. I feel like there's no ego. So like when WCW was hiring WWE back in the 90s, like Diesel like Kevin Nash, Scott Hall, X-Pac, Hogan, like there was still so much ego involved because they still could wrestle. Where I feel like Big Show and Christian are like, all right, you're hiring me for like one last run, maybe a couple fill-ins if needed, but like other than that, I'm helping you for like backstage stuff to like bring a culture back, bring a culture over here, and there's no ego involved. So I think it's to get younger guys ready or, get the current guys over, all that kind of stuff. And I feel like it's going to be only beneficial, obviously, where WCW, I think you kind of hurt the product long-term, hence the finger poke of doom and all that stupid shit. But like now I feel like AEW's part, you're getting people over for the long term and thus making it a better product. So you're going to get the Darby Allin to be like a superstar or Hangman Page to be a superstar. Miro, who I think's already kind of there, but a superstar. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And I just think, too, that it's like those guys that are there from WWE, they're just like, I think they're happy to be working because they wouldn't be doing nothing else. They wouldn't be in TNA. They wouldn't. Maybe Christian would be because, that's where he was. That was something where he made some money for quite some time.
Yeah.
But, hey.
Yeah, I got you. So I had a question when we were talking this morning. We texted like, "Oh, what do you want to talk about?" We're like, "Ah, shit, let's just wing it." But the one question I asked you, this would be kind of cool to do. So I need you to close your eyes right now, right? I ain't trying to be weird. Just close your eyes. Do a little mental exercise right here. Ready?
All right.
So we're going back to the 80s. I'm gonna give you a question about each decade. So hopefully, I know you're Mr. Year Off. I'm trusting you with this mental exercise right now. Ready? So you're gonna keep your eyes closed. I'm gonna
Yeah.
close my eyes with you right now. Ready? You're 18, right? This is we're in the 80s. So obviously you're gonna be 18. You're gonna pick the year, but you're 18. You got the black Ford Focus that you used to have, right?
Ford Bronco.
You want the Bronco? Okay, I'll give you a Bronco.
The
Uh,
80s, yeah.
huh?
It was the 80s, yeah. I definitely have a black
All
Ford.
right, you got the black Ford, right? You get to go to any WrestleMania in the 80s you want. Which one are you picking? So you got WrestleManias 1 through 5.
I'm going to WrestleMania 1, dude.
You going WrestleMania 1?
Yeah, because how much of a spectacle it is. Like, I'd be calling you. I'd be like, bro,
Mm.
18,
Mhm.
ready to roll. Let's go to the Studio 54, and then we're gonna hit up Mania, and hopefully, you're in.
I like that a lot. That's actually good.
Yeah.
I think that Studio 54 combo kind of sold me, but I was WrestleMania 5. I was going with the Mega Powers, WrestleMania 5, Savage versus Hogan, 89. But damn, dude, you got me with that Studio 54.
Yeah, like all this like music. It was like music and wrestling and stuff.
Rock and wrestling, dude.
All into would be like, yo, dude, like it's in New York City. Let's just go there. Like we could literally take the bus from Wilkes-Barre.
That's true. I was gonna say I got Trump Plaza at WrestleMania 5, so we got that gambling stuff too. So just tossing it out there, just All right,
Also,
so
if we were 18 in the 80s, I probably wouldn't be alive. But but we would have hit all those WrestleManias. Like imagine, because they're all around like New York, New Jersey.
oh yeah, one and two is in New York. 3's obviously in Detroit. We can make a little road trip if you wanted to.
Rock
But 4
City.
and 5 are,
Go to a Kiss concert.
what do you say?
Go to a Kiss concert.
Yeah, Alice Cooper was a guest at WrestleMania 3. I'm sure he had a concert the day or two before. So yeah, we could. I mean, I'm not into rock per se like that. I probably would have got my teeth kicked in, but hey, I would have went for the ride. You know what I mean? WrestleMania 4 and 5 is in New Jersey at the Boardwalk. We could blow that money. You know what I mean? So I mean, yeah, take your pick. All right, so we got to close your eyes again, dude. Ready? Close your eyes again. It's in the 90s now, so we're not in the DeLorean yet. You're in the Ford still. And then you can pick any WrestleMania you want in the 90s. So you're going from WrestleMania 6 to WrestleMania 15. I know WrestleMania 15 is your favorite, but I pray to God you do not pick that shit.
Nah, dude, I'm going to WrestleMania 14.
Oh, you're going Boston? You're going Austin versus Michaels?
Yeah, we're going to the Boston Garden. I'm going to park
Garden.
the car, and I'm going to go see the wrestlers wrestle.
You got a beautiful accent. I don't know which one I would pick, man. I'd probably yeah, it's actually crazy. I'd probably go WrestleMania 6, dude. We're going over the border, watching the Ultimate Challenge, dude. We're going to Toronto, Skydome, that massive place, and I'm watching Warrior win. I think if I had to pick it, just because that's back to back of what I would have picked, I think I would go 13, dude. I go Chi-Town. I think I do Chi-Town.
I like that.
All right, close your eyes again. Here we go again. Close your eyes. It's 2000. We're going 2000. So what was your actual car in 2000? What was your first car?
First car 2000. 2011, I had a Ford Ranger, and then I used to get to borrow my parents' Mustang. That was cool.
I remember the Mustang. All right, so you're in the Mustang right now because I know Mustang in 2000. Ready? You get to pick any WrestleMania in the 2000s. So we're going from 16, WrestleMania 2000, to WrestleMania 25, which is kind of crazy.
I'm going to see WrestleMania 18 just to see Hogan versus Rock.
Okay, so you're going to the Skydome on that one. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm doing WrestleMania. I have to do this one. As much as 17's there, right? Like 17's the best WrestleMania ever. Yeah, we can't even include WrestleMania 17 because I think we would all go to that, right? Like, all right, so we'll exclude WrestleMania 17. I'm gonna go 20 because it's in MSG, and I think
I would go to that one as well. The card was delivered.
Yes, the card is better to me at WrestleMania 20 than WrestleMania 10. I just only because I think the quality is better in 10, but I think the amount of matches is more, and there's better because of there's more matches. I think the matches are just as good, like the amount. My backup one would be WrestleMania 21 because it's LA, Hollywood. So
that'd be a good one too. My goal is to get out to California before I die. It's one of the states I got to hit up.
yeah, when I die, bury me inside a Gucci store, bro. But all right, so we're going back to the 2000. We're gonna go 2011 Mustang now, right here. Ready? You got a WrestleMania between the 2010s. So you're going WrestleMania. What was 2011? 27. Oh no, WrestleMania 26, 2010, to WrestleMania 35. Right? Is that what it was? What's 2019? 35?
Yeah.
34.
I don't know.
35?
Looking it up.
I'm about to be. I might be missed 2 year off right now. No, 35, right?
WrestleMania 35 was in 2019. So yeah.
There we go. So there you go. 27 to 35.
27 to 35, right?
Yeah.
I'd probably do WrestleMania 28.
Oh, you're going to Miami.
Yeah.
That's a good choice, though. It's a good city.
But WrestleMania 22 is a good card. I mean, you have Rock, Cena, first time, once in a lifetime.
Once in a lifetime, that happened 2 times.
Yeah. Then you got that Triple H Taker match. Whew. That was way better than their match the year before.
I agree.
Cena versus Jericho. That whole alcohol storyline was great, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I mean, there was just three highlighted matches, and it was good.
That's a good one, man. I was actually thinking 30. I was thinking 31 the whole time. That's also in California. That's my favorite That's my most favorite recent WrestleMania too. But again, 28's a good one because of the city. I'm gonna go with. I'm gonna go 31. But if I had to pick another one, I'll go 33 actually. And so I was thinking about New Orleans. I was thinking about Nolans, but. I don't know, man. That's tough. The recent ones. I don't know. I said 20 for WMSG. I'm trying to think of the city. But do I go 34? Do I go 31? Because that'd be Cali. I'll go 31 or 33, I think. I don't know which one. I guess it depends on how much money I had at that time. So.
Yeah, for sure. But obviously, we have all the money in our heads.
No, you're right. You're right. I'm trying to make myself more realistic. I mean, because honestly, if we're talking realness, I ain't probably going to any WrestleManias anytime soon. Although I really do want to go to one if they go to the Vegas Stadium. If they go to the new Raiders Stadium, I just feel like it's due time that they go to a Vegas venue. Obviously, the new stadium looks insane. I've been seeing just videos of it. I saw like a 30 for 30 on the new Raiders, so like they showed a little bit more in depth of the stadium. That stuff, it looks litty, bro. So I would love to go there. Obviously, I've been to Vegas. My only plane flight was to Vegas, so I got to be heavily medicate myself, go, get it done.
Yeah, dude. If it's there, I'll go with you. I'm all about the travel, the experience, and going to Vegas. I mean, I had a good time the last time I was there, so highly recommend it.
Yeah, I'm gonna put you on the spot right now too. Have some fun with this.
All
So
right.
you bought 2 WrestleMania tickets, dude, and you have the option of taking me or your wife. Who you taking?
So.
Oh, whoa.
I got it all figured out.
Okay. All right. Let's hear it.
I want to go, so I would give you the ticket, and she would just come to the city with us because she likes to travel. So she'll go do whatever the hell she wants. Just bring KP. KP likes to travel as well.
That's true.
And then we'll just go to WrestleMania because they probably don't care to go to WrestleMania. So it's definitely you.
Are you bringing the baby girls?
Not to WrestleMania until they actually I hope we get to take our kids
to travel with us. Are we doing a family vacation, dude? The Primal Love family vacation?
I'm all about it, man.
Yeah, that'd be kind of cool.
I hope we could take our kids to even a wrestling show at our arena, but not till they understand it.
No, yeah, it's still even
6.
Yeah, say it's still pretty loud for them, the pyro and the music and stuff like that. So I agree with that.
Yeah, I mean, I went to a show at the arena when I was 10 and I cried. So
You cried on Friday.
I know I'm soft.
No, like SAWT. No, like what was I gonna say? Wait, what time we got? We got 20 more minutes. Well, you got any questions, dude?
Honestly, we talked about AEW. We want to see face there. We talked about we hit a lot of points. But so let's go back to WWE. What do you think of this new gimmick for our boy Apollo Crew?
It's very Wakandian. It's not bad. It's a cool look. Is he heel now though? Like what's up with it?
I personally don't get the gimmick yet because I haven't watched it, but I think it's cool because I was thinking Wakanda, and it's very like he literally reminds me of the big ass dude in the Black Panther who, is like, I guess you would say he's the Black Panther's frenemy.
He is. He's the guy that tries to help out. When he has Chadwick Boseman, R.I.P. Boseman,
Yeah.
R.I.P. I should say. He has him on ice. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, like he's like a good guy, but he's not a bad guy.
He's in I think he's in Spencer Confidential. If that's that movie, I'm thinking on Netflix. He's very cool. He's very funny. But yeah, that's I can see that though. I just think of Wakanda because of the spear. He has. I mean, at the same time though, he has like 2 military guys behind him too. So that's why I thought he was a heel. I think it's something that could work. It's something that I don't think has been done in a while.
Yeah.
It's a good opponent. I feel like it's done at a random time. I think he just started debuting it randomly. But at the same time, Big E does need a face or a heel to go up against. I think Apollo can be that because obviously Cesaro's kind of booked right now with Rollins. Daniel Bryan, I think, is going to be thrown into that, but right now he's with Reigns anyway. I don't know where the hell Shinsuke's at. He had a great gauntlet match, and then I don't even know what happened. So, I mean, I think Big E... What?
They're like, okay, bye. Like,
yeah, exactly. So I do think Apollo and Big E could tear the house down on a match or night 1 or 2 of Mania, but I think that's a Mania match.
Yeah, I think so too. And I honestly think the gimmick is cool because they always try to say, like, every time they do like an African American stable, it's the new Nation of Domination. And clearly the New Day wasn't. Clearly the Hurt Business wasn't. Like, the New Day is its own thing. Like,
that
own thing creatively. The Hurt Business, to me, if it's anything, it's not a parody. It's just a spin-off of Evolution.
Yeah, 100%. Like the suits, yeah, I completely agree with that.
But I personally think, I think it would be time to do something like that, like a Nation of Domination thing. Because that's, I mean, in the 90s, there was still like that same issue, and then there's the same issue today, and like to bring that in wrestling light, I think that's cool.
Yeah,
but I don't get what he's going towards. The only thing I guess I don't get the gimmick yet. If he's like Wakandian, like, are you trying to do some like superhero shit, which is cool with me.
Yeah.
But then I don't get like the military guys, or are you like trying to do like a Nation of Domination thing?
Yes.
Or, like, are you like does he have like a Nigerian accent now?
Oh, no, I didn't hear him talk yet, but
Right. Hopefully he does. That would just kill the whole thing. Like, he didn't have an accent.
100%. I mean, maybe he's trying to make it like a cult thing, almost like what CM Punk did with the sobriety stuff, but obviously maybe with the
That would be cool.
like audience type thing, like maybe trying to make it. I've always wondered, like, that really has. I mean, I guess Bray kind of did it with the Bio. Did I say it right? I always say it wrong.
Bayou. I think it's a
Bayou Bray. I'm just gonna wake up and just start saying it. So I feel like maybe he kind of did that. Maybe like that David Koresh type of character. I don't know if you ever saw that. Waco, good show. But like I feel like that doesn't really get done a lot. Just like a random guy who just does a cult for no reason. Because obviously sometimes it works. David Koresh, sometimes it doesn't, obviously. But like I feel like that could be a gimmick that a lot of people really don't do. Bray was probably the closest thing to it.
Yeah.
And I guess maybe CM Punk kind of did it too, but that was more like for sobriety though. That's just like I don't know.
Yeah, it was cool for the time. And honestly, I think you could do it again today, but
I mean, that's a gimmick that you could just always do.
yeah,
honestly.
People are gonna, like, if you force, like, whatever you're doing, if it's gay rights sobriety rights, anything to do that goes on in public forums and force it down someone's throat, you're the back, no matter what. If you were trying to say, like, you got to do this to save all the water in Michigan, and you just don't shut up about it, everyone's going to boo you because you're annoying.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a way to get good heat in wrestling. I mean, because I think good heat is hard to get anymore, and hopefully Apollo could do that because he is a tremendous athlete. So I think
he's crazy talented. Lashley just had an interview actually recently. Obviously, he's champion, so he's doing all these interviews now.
Yeah,
he just said that he initially wanted Apollo in the Hurt Business.
Yeah,
but I'm assuming Creative had different things, and obviously he was pretty much the first like obstacle in the Hurt Business's way. But yeah, Lashley originally wanted him because when Lashley wasn't even there yet, so before he signed, Apollo texted him was like, "Hey, do you ever get like stagnant here?" Lashley's like, "Yeah, I left. Like, I understand." And then he's like, "Trust me, like I've been to other places. Like you're in the best spot right now. So just suck it up." He's like, "I promise, like your talent's gonna get shown at some point." He goes there, they do the program, all that kind of stuff. But Lashley originally wanted him in there, which would have been cool. I honestly think as good as it is right now, that's the thing. Like I always say, like I'm not trying to shit on any or like nitpick anything, but like I like to like see if it. So like obviously you have Shelton, Cedric, Lashley, MVP, right? I'm definitely keeping MVP and Lashley, but to me, if you had like Apollo and Ricochet, I feel like because they were both such good guys. Because like Shelton's already been a bad guy. You've seen it when he was the gold standard, right?
Yeah.
Cedric was never really a bad guy, so I mean I don't mind Cedric also, but like Apollo and Ricochet have been nothing but good guys since NXT, WWE. So to bring them over to the Hurt Business would have been kind of cool. And both they're so freakishly athletic and like can do like flips and they can do anything. Do you want to be a technical wrestler? They could do it. You want them to be acrobatic? They could do it. So they could be so cocky if they really wanted to.
Yeah, and that's why I love like the evolution concept of it because they really are that.
Yeah.
Because I would like to see maybe Keith Lee get in with Apollo's.
Oh my God, I would love that. I would love that
because it's just like a powerhouse group of like.
The way he talks is so heelish too. I think the way Keith Lee talks, it just sounds heelish. I think.
And you know, it just sucks that like Ricochet is just lost in the shuffle. Like,
yeah,
I personally think he's better off going to like somewhere else. Maybe AEW I think would probably be the best place for him, but not right now because I feel like they're just like having a new character come in every week.
Yeah, you have to bring him in later or something if you were to do it.
Yeah, maybe like this time next year, like go home, go work somewhere, work a new hole. But at the same point in time, like where else are you gonna go work during a pandemic?
I would say Japan, maybe.
Yeah, well, but yeah, because Japan's back to I think full crowds and stuff.
Are they? I don't know. I have no idea.
I have no idea. Don't quote me on that, but
I feel like you know more than that, more of that than I do.
Yeah, but I mean, at the same point in time, like, let me just keep getting a solid paycheck so I can figure out what I want to do.
That's true. Maybe he is doing that, but I forget. I remember everybody said that his contract was expiring like this. I remember reading it in January, and I think they said it was supposed to be in March, but then he said that either he resigned or that was false, and he actually signed like a 5-year deal in 2018, so like he would have 2 more years. So I forget what it was like, but either way, like I do think that they need to do something with him, take him back to NXT, do a new look. Like, I don't know, but something does. Ever since that Brock Lesnar match, like it was just such a squash that I just don't understand what happened.
And he seems like such a cool dude. Where it's like, it's definitely not heat. It's definitely not talent. I think it's just there's just too many people in the. You know, it's too many people, too many cookies in the jar.
It's either that or like I mean, it's definitely one of the options I was thinking too. But as I'm like talking about it now, like has to be something with his mic skills, right?
Yeah, he's not the best talker in the world.
But that's what MVP was there for. Like Cedric was never a good talker. Shelton's
not a. No.
I was gonna say when he was a gold standard, he did a couple promos here and there, but like outside of that, like Angle was his mouthpiece when he was Team Angle.
Yeah.
And then like he had that mama gimmick for a little bit, but like, so like he never really had a mouthpiece either. So like, it's feel like a mouthpiece can solve that. But here's the thing about a mouthpiece, right? Ricochet's so short that your mouthpiece has to be shorter. Does that make any sense to make him look big?
Yeah, because you put him with MVP. MVP's a big dude, man. He's not a small.
Yeah.
Because even like I guess even for that matter, like he's bigger than Cedric, but at the same point in time, like
Is he bigger than Cedric? That's what I was gonna say. I think Cedric's thicker. Like
he's a big dude, but at the same point in time, like if you have a mentor or like a whatever manager MVP, like MVP will beat you up.
Yeah.
You know? Like
he looks like it.
You know, like MVP selected guys, like, you know, he's gonna play like that scared heel role, but like when it comes down to it, like if it's Daniel, like they're Hurt Business versus Daniel Bryan, they all could beat up Daniel Bryan.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like single handedly.
Mm-hmm.
Because I mean, that's actually a decent storyline if you switched him over to Raw.
I agree with that.
I like that. But so going into Fastlane too, what do you think? What do you think on the Roman versus Daniel? I mean, I think it's just to have a good match for Roman going into Mania. But
yeah, I think it's just probably the biggest baby face of that, like of the recent era. Gonna have a great match with Reigns, and then just to get Reigns more heat going into Mania. So my question to you is like, do you think Reigns retains against Edge? That's my main question.
I think he's gonna drop it to Edge.
You think he's dropping it?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, I think he's winning. I think he's keeping it. But as I say that, I was gonna say like Edge doesn't need it. But last time Edge won the Rumble, he actually lost a title match. So I feel like they can't do that again. But I'm gonna say Roman wins it still. Because when Edge won at 2010, he lost to Jericho at Mania.
Yeah.
But no, I think Reigns beats him. I really want to see. First of all, I want to see the unification because that's the one thing. I mean, I guess it's almost like coming back full circle. I think there's so much content in the in wrestling right now, especially in the WWE side. And I get it; they have their own network; they can do it, right? And obviously, the behind the ring scene, or beyond the ring stuff like the 24s or the Chronicles, those are cool. Don't get me wrong, but like for actual like matches, I feel like there's just so much content, and I think part of that has to be the amount of titles also. So like I'm a UFC fan and a boxing fan, but obviously the last like 5 years I've been more of a UFC fan. And part of it is just attention. I think it's easier to keep attention to 10 UFC titles. I'm just going off the top of my head. I think there's 10 UFC titles maybe. Not even. But like boxing, there's got to be like I can't even tell you how many there are.
Every 5 pounds, I think it's a different weight class.
Every 5 pounds is a different weight, and then there's 4 organizations.
Yeah.
So like, there's just so much you got to pay attention to, that it's almost like, same thing with WWE. Like, there's so many titles right now, and I get it. You have like your own territories, like NXT UK. They're obviously gonna come out with, like a Japan or a Mexico one or a Japan one down the road. But like, there's so many like for just here, like Raw and SmackDown. There's so many titles that I just think need to be dropped. Or combined, obviously. And I would love to just see that done at a WrestleMania. Because that also helps your main talent. Like, all right, you're mid-card level. Work your way up. Like, obviously, we're going to have, like, 5 main eventers. We're going to have, like, 10 mid-carders. But we're obviously going to, you know, I think there's a way that you can make everything interesting. Like, I don't know if you want to do divisions or, like, you know, the Intercontinental division. And then once you're in there for X amount of time, you could, like, go up to the to the main event title. I'm just going off the cuff of my head, but I just feel like there's so many titles, I just don't understand it. And I just think it needs to be, I'm trying to think of the word, it's combined. Like, what is it?
Unification?
Unification. There you go, yeah. You're a smart man, Malloy.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you on that, because it's just, you know, I enjoy the content, but there's too much wrestling content, too, so I think putting them all together, especially the 2 main titles, I don't think your organization needs 2 world champions. I mean, there's obviously the AFC and the NFC in football, but at the same point in time, there's still only 1 champion. There's only 1 person that wins the Super Bowl. So I think that's the way they should go.
Yeah.
But, I mean, that's just me. But with 5 minutes left in our show, I guess we're going to start the show off next week with a special guest, a friend, I would say, of yours and mine. Killian McMurphy.
Yeah, can't wait. It's been a while since I talked to him.
Yeah, so I'm excited to talk to him, reach out to him. We reached out last week. He's good to speak with us next week, so I'm excited for that. He'll be on the first half of our show.
Yeah, so seven, a little bit, like a couple minutes after Killian will be on our show. Definitely, like you said, we're starting to have guests on there. We're making that transition. So we're doing wrestling. We're doing wrestling, independent wrestlers, but we're also doing wrestling fans. So if you guys want to be on our show, you guys know the social media sites and our Gmail. If you guys want to reach out, social media is at PML Show. Our Gmail is PML Talk Show. Again, you don't need to be a wrestler. You can just be a wrestling fan. We just like to talk wrestling. So. But yeah, I just wanted to throw that.
And we can talk other people's thoughts, theories. I think last week was a good conversation with the man Johnny Moran.
Dark horse Johnny Moran.
Yeah, he was always going to be the man in our hearts. But
yeah, you're right. He is.
So it was a good conversation last week, and I look forward to talking to the shooter. Next week, see what he's been up to.
Definitely. Yeah, I haven't talked to him in Sanctuary, dude. 3 years.
Yeah, 2-3 years almost. Which is kind of crazy to say the least, because it's it looks like he's been on a hell of a journey, and I hope it's nice he could stop along the way and we can see what he's been up to.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, so
I always wanted to work a program with him too.
Yeah,
got it done.
I wrestled him once. We're gonna talk about a funny story where he did a springboard.
Wait, don't ruin it! Don't ruin it.
It's a great story, but you have to tune in next week.
Yeah,
hear
dude, cliffhang it.
Hear the story. It's funny as hell. I think anything that involved me in wrestling was somewhat comedic to an extent, because it wasn't about, it was about trying to get to WrestleMania. At the same point in time, it was about having a good time. I wasn't styling and profiling, but I was a kiss stealing, wheeling, dealing son of a gun. Woo!
Unbelievable. Speaking of that, I don't know if he's still watching, but Dorian was watching.
Yo, Dorian, come on the show, man. Come.
I would say, I don't know if he's watching anymore. I just have the notification, but if he is, what's up, Dorian? We can get you on the show sometime soon too. But yeah, I mean, those are all good memories, of us just getting in the business, working around a little bit. If you want to say that, right? Were we even tenured enough to say work in the business and stuff like that?
Yeah.
Or no?
I traveled some miles, did some things,
Drank some beers, got paid some pizza.
Yeah, got drunk at some shows. It was cool.
Yeah.
You're
right.
The merch table for the Mighty Militia. That was a fun story.
That was your in though. Like that was you like while
I hung out with Alpha Junior and drank beers at the at a like social club in the middle of nowhere, Pennsylvania. Yeah.
That was your training days. You weren't ready to work yet. That was your way of learning the miles.
Yeah. The carniness of the wrestling business, which is hilarious.
Yeah, it's crazy. It is crazy.
We got to meet Samu. He was big time legend back in the day, head shrinker. He's like, good match. I liked your kilt. You're funny. I was
like, that's awesome. I just forgot you got the kilt, dude.
Yeah, I got it. We got it.
Hey, say you want to do a finale match, dude? I'm in.
I do a finale tour just for a year, just like.
You want to do a tour?
Yeah, like I wrestle like once a month, given the opportunity.
Once a month, dude, you would never be able to be in shape.
I'm in shape right now, bro. I ran a mile outside.
No, dude. I know your gains. I understand your gains, but Caleb, I'm not saying you're out of shape. I just mean like ring ready, dude. By the time you get ring ready for your one match, you're gonna be done for another month. So then you're just gonna be sore.
I hope Trotsky didn't change the locks.
Yeah, you gotta reach out. We gotta reach out to him. Show our daughters our wrestling talent, dude.
Yeah, dude.
Now, that'd be fun to do. I always said I'd do a tag team with you down the road. I mean, obviously we got priorities right now, so we have to probably take a year off.
Dads, and all we do is tell dad jokes.
We could be dad bods, dude. We could be the dad
bods.
The dad bods.
That's a great idea. And I'll wear New Balances.
There you go. You're set. We're set, dude. We got it. We got the gimmick already.
And we could wear dress shirts and ties.
I don't know. I feel like there was a tag team actually called the Step Dads. We don't want to take on their stuff.
No. I just want to be the dads. We could be cool dads.
Big Daddy Cools.
Big Daddy Cool.
That's awesome. No, we'll see what happens. Obviously, we got priorities to take care of this year. We'll see what 2022 has in store. Maybe we can come back for a match or two.
Yeah, something like that.
I'm sure Christine would like that a lot. Maybe she's not watching the show. I can get away with just talking about that and saying, "Hey, 2021 or 2022, the comeback starts."
Or else we actually get on a softball team, one or the other. But that,
We'll take one or the other. That's what we're gonna do. One or the other, and then add a little golf in between all of that.
yes.
There you go. But hope you guys enjoyed the show. It's 8 o'clock, so we're wrapping it up. Thank you guys for tuning in on the Monday Office Space little quote there. So hope you guys enjoyed the show. Next week we'll be back on Tuesday. I don't think there's any scheduling conflicts going on there. So Tuesday we're talking WrestleMania 4. We got Killian on the show at 7:01 as early as possible for about a half hour. Then we're going to talk WrestleMania 4. So if you guys have any questions for Killian, if you guys want to see him, type in Killian McMurphy on YouTube if you guys want to watch any of his matches and then ask us any questions to ask him. Looking forward to that. Otherwise, we're on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram at PML Show. Again, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram at PML Show. And then Gmail is PMLTalkShow at gmail.com. Excuse me. Otherwise, enjoy your night. We're the Primalo Wrestling Show, the Primalo Crew, Rich Lopez, Homeboy Malloy. Thank you, Steve. If you guys are liking what you're hearing, we're on Lose the Radio. Robert Price is always with us. Until next week, enjoy your weekend.
Peace.
Peace.